This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Now, if you guys ever wondered why Deontay Wilder and Shelley Finkel don't like Eddie Hearn, it's 4 articles like this, which I shall put in the description box. Go give it a read, not right now, but when this video is finished, where Eddie Hearn is saying that the fight between Joshua and Wilder must happen next, no excuses. Of course, all going well in 10 days' time and during the first Madison Square Garden, Joshua versus Andy Ruiz. So if Anthony Joshua comes through that one successfully, then Joshua versus Wilder should happen next. No excuses. This is what he's saying. This is why Eddie Hearn and Shelley Finkel don't like Eddie Hearn, because they don't want the fight. They never did want the fight. They don't like the fact that Eddie Hearn keeps trying to make this fight. They keep making them look bad. Eddie Hearn keeps making Shelley Finkel look bad. He keeps making Deontay Wilder look bad because they don't want the fight. Finkel's never had any kind of confidence in him. He really hasn't. So, but the thing is, Eddie Hearn just hasn't learned at all. He's still having like this candle of hope that the fight is going to happen. You guys will remember the very first time that I interviewed Eddie Hearn on this channel. What was it that I said to Eddie Hearn? I said to him, Wilder is just using Joshua's name as clout. He will not make the fight. Eddie Hearn was like, yeah, maybe, yeah, possibly. No, yeah, maybe, possibly. Eddie, I was right. Yes, correct. Right, I was. Still now, we're still saying the same thing. He's just been using Joshua's name as clout. In fact, you have said this on numerous occasions since then. Thank you for the creditation, by the way. But I told you that Wilder just is not interested in this fight. But Wilder now, what's he saying? Eddie Hearn, listen up. What is it that Wilder said before the Dominic Brazil fight? What is it that he said after the Dominic Brazil fight? Well, this fight between Joshua, it will happen one day, but right now the fans need to be patient. Everything needs to calm down, needs to go silent, and then the fight will happen. Me and Joshua, this is a big fight. We both need to get paid because this is very, very dangerous, blah, blah, blah. That's telling you, Eddie, that he doesn't want the fight. So you can say how much you'd like the fight to happen next, as much as you like. All you're doing is making him famous, more and more famous. That's all you're doing. He doesn't want the fight. Listen, a lot of his current fans who have been hating for quite some time have realised that Wilder don't want this fight, and now they're feeling a pretty two-faced about it now, or like egg on their face, because they were saying how it was Anthony Joshua who didn't want the fight, even though Joshua put in numerous contracts, sent him numerous contracts, gave him the money that he wanted, put in the terms that he wanted, all on a contract, official, sent over. Wilder didn't sign it. Plenty of things like that. Even turned down $100 million recently for that fight to happen on DAZN for 2 fights back to back. So even if Wilder got sparked out in the very first round, you get a rematch. So he's still not taking the fight. All he's doing is been using Joshua's name as clout. I have helped this. I'm not going to deny it. You guys will remember when Joshua took on Vladimir Klitschko. The current Wilder fan channels that you see now were not talking about Wilder then. They weren't. Guess who was? Hello, me. I was talking about Wilder. Not in a good way, but I was talking about Wilder. And when Joshua, he became the first person to drop Vladimir Klitschko in over 10 years, not just once, but 3 times to the canvas, and stopped him as well, in only his 19th fight, and added the WBA title to the IBF title, so he became a unified champion on 19 fights. I'm laughing. Deontay Wilder is in attendance. He's doing the punditry work for Sky Sports, which he did a great job, by the way. And I'm laughing because he hasn't achieved anything in nearly 40 fights at that time. I think he had, 37, 38 fights at that time. He hadn't achieved anything even remotely close to it. So I'm laughing at Wilder. In addition to that, I'm making silly videos of Deontay Wilder dancing around the ring while I'm playing Calder the County. A lot of you guys will remember that. If you guys have seen it, yes, it was me. I created that. And, of course, I'm pulling out the paperwork, which no other YouTuber did actually, by the way, but now it's very famous, that Shelley Finkel on 33 fights, when Deontay Wilder won the world title on 33 fights, I'll say it again, said that Wilder is still a prospect, he's still a baby. I pulled all that up, and then suddenly lots of people talking about it. And what happened is, because I'm going at Deontay Wilder, the current Wilder fan channels, who weren't fan channels then, were then coming at me. Other channels were rising up out of the zombie ashes, the Wilder ashes, to make their channels just to have a go at me. This is all fact, people. Just look at all their history and you'll see when it was that they started and what it was that they were saying. And a lot of them, like the group that they are now, we even got together on some hangouts just to chastise poor little sporting icons. So the whole Wilder versus Joshua beef, I kicked that thing right up the backside, and look how huge that thing is now. I'm not saying that I was the only one, not at all, but I certainly helped kickstart all of that. And a lot of those hate channels over there, they know that. So Wilder, Joshua, Hearn, when this fight happens, and God, please make it happen real soon, you guys owe me some money. Wilder, I made you famous, boy. You owe me. And what do you do for thanks? Even though me and Wilder, we used to actually talk from time to time, on social media, of course, and we're actually okay, but has since blocked me. I made you famous, and you blocked me. How dare you? How dare you? I'm mortally offended by all this. So, anyway, listen. Wilder does not want to fight Eddie Hearn. You can say how much he wants to fight, or Joshua wants to fight. You can talk about it all you want. All you're doing is feeding Wilder's ego. Even Wilder has recently come out today and said Joshua wants the fight so bad. Well, so why aren't you giving it to him then? Why? Because you're a coward, that's why. He never wanted the fight. He never did. I've said it since day one, and I'm saying it again. Wilder does not want the fight. He never did. His plan is to take on Luis Ortiz next, then Adam Kownacki. I told you this weeks ago. And guess what? It's all going to happen. The only way it will not happen is if the WBC actually do something right for the first time in a hell of a long time and make Dillian Whyte the mandatory and force him to fight Dillian Whyte next, as in force Wilder to fight Dillian Whyte next if Dillian Whyte is successful over Oscar Rivas. That's the only way that he will not be fighting Luis Ortiz or Adam Kownacki next. But we know that the WBC love to give Wilder some cuddles and all that kind of good stuff and protect him. Don't worry, I'll keep him away from you, Deontay. Don't worry about it. Yes, he's number one, but don't worry, he will never get to fight you. I promise you. He won't. No, he won't. Don't worry about it. Stop crying. So, that's the plan. It's always been the plan. He never wanted to fight. Even when Wilder was doing the commentary for the Klitschko fight, he was very good. He was very nice. He even went up to the apron and fist bumped Joshua to say, well done. Flew all the way back to Alabama and then started chastising him. Unbelievable. And then, what was it that well done? He then called out Josie Parker, who was a champion at the time, and said, I'm ready for the fight. Let's make the fight next, at the end of the year. He said this in, was it March? So he wants to fight at the end of the year. Next, I'm ready now. Let's fight at the end of the year. He's a walking contradiction, man. He really, really is. So he never wanted to fight with Joshua. Eddie Hearn can say whatever he likes. Eddie, I told you this in the beginning, but you didn't listen. You still hold this candle of hope. And you're pandering to this man. Really? You want to make a mockery of boxing. You want to make a mockery. Do you really want to encourage all these other fighters out there to start following the same suit as Wilder because he got his own way? Are you really going to give this man 50-50? Are you really going to give him the 100 million that Wilder wants? I would hope to God not. Hope to God not. Even the 15 million way back when was more than enough. More than enough. The guy just had a fight with Dominic Brazil and did stupidly low numbers. For free-to-air TV on Showtime, did poor numbers. The attendance was 6,000 short. Let me repeat that. 6,000 short in the arena. Terrible, terrible attendance. How does he deserve any of this? But he's building up a profile. Yes, I'm doing videos, helping it, all that kind of thing. Much like I did way back when I made him famous. Thank you, Wilder, for blocking me, as I said. So, how's this fight going to happen? This fight is going to happen when, basically, Shelly Finkel says it's going to happen. Shelly Finkel said before that he's talking to John Skipper, who is head of DAZN, or what kind of role it is. And he's building a bit of a relationship with John Skipper. And once he has a good relationship with John Skipper, then they'll make the fight. Shelly Finkel is telling you with his own mouth, he makes the decision as to whether or not Wilder fights Joshua or not. And it's all based on feelings. If he feels comfortable with John Skipper of DAZN. He hasn't made the fight because he doesn't feel comfortable with Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn called him Shirley Winkle. Eddie Hearn, stop saying this. The fight must happen next. No excuses. He's already given you the excuses. He doesn't want the fight. He wants to marinate it. Even though 2 years ago he said this fight shouldn't be marinated. Now suddenly it does. What's it going to be, Deontay? Just make up your own mind, please. For the love of God, make the fight. It's driving me mad now. I've had enough of it. Your fans, I know they're quite happy no matter what it is that you say and do. they will back it up. You can go out there and punch a granny square in the face and they will find a way to defend it, much like when you strangled that woman for whatever reason back in 2013. Mention it to them now. Oh, well, she probably deserved it. That's kind of what it is that they say. So anyway, Eddie Hearn, the fight ain't happening. It just ain't, mate. Move on from it. Drop your thoughts below, click the thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.